what a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using stock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now, we are joined by Righteous Force, Ranty Flat Earth, 10th Man, Flatzoid and Chocolate Sane in G+. Very good to have you all.
Good morning.
Afternoon, Nath.
Hello.
Good morning.
Also joined by a whole bunch of people in Discord, so hello to everyone in Discord.
Hello.
Hey, Nathan.
Good to have you all. Before we do a bit of housekeeping, shout outs to the latest members of Nathan Oakley 1980. So Elijah Freeman, massive shout out to you, the latest hyena, and also Anaconda Malt Liquor 17, who's the latest lion. Wow. So massive shout outs to both of the new latest Nathan Oakley 1980 channel members. If you also want to join, there is a join button on PC and I believe Android, and there's a link below in the info box if you're on any other device. So we're going to kick off with a first, which is a new housekeeping question. Any evidence of a physical sphere edge capable of geometric measurement? You know, for boats to go over.
Great question.
Interesting.
Boats going over a curve, Nathan?
Edge.
Antipodal.
Over the edge?
Yeah, the thing
They
that...
don't like the word edge, Nathan.
No, I know they don't.
But how could an apparent location be physical?
It can't be, but you must reify a globe physicality, i.e. something that can obscure things from bottom up because it's physically in the way. Well, that's a physical edge of their sphere. Is there any evidence of a physical sphere edge capable of measurement?
Reify? Wait,
Yeah,
so you
reified.
may make something that's not real? Real?
Yeah, their model.
Nah.
The edge in their model is made real.
No, over here we go by the really is level.
Apparently, they don't.
Are there any globers that's actually going to try answer this?
Well, we
Yeah,
had
this
ball
group-
busters on Saturday. They didn't do good then.
I'll give it a moment. Any evidence of a physical sphere edge capable of geometric measurement?
Nathan, this is while we're waiting for someone to answer this. Remember how you saw their arguments, how they take their weakest arguments and they throw it out at us and make it like it's ours. They project it. The way you talked about how they say we have an edge, but really they're the ones with the edge.
Yeah, attack is the best form of defense. So if you've got a severe weakness in your reification of a sphere model that has a physical edge obscuring things in the distance, then rather than highlighting that fact, ask the opponent for their edge. So attack us for our edge. Hey Arwin, how you doing?
Hello. I have to
Any evidence
say,
of...
that's a pretty good housekeeping question. That really hits the spot.
Didn't hear that. Try again, Earth-shaped
Got
investigator.
an
You're a bit
edge
quiet.
to it.
Try that once more. Go ahead, Earth-shaped investigator. We didn't hear you. You just weren't loud enough.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, a little bit. Okay.
Just repeat what you said.
Yeah, I was just saying, I've turned off my Bluetooth. Yeah, that I think we've got the edge on them now. It is a good housekeeping question. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
There's a whole raft of edge puns that will follow, I guarantee that. Any signs of Earth curvature?
Correct.
Not from Saint Simeon.
Oh, Nathan, I'd advise you to ban P. Mars. He's getting all racist in chat. It's pretty
I'll keep an eye on
disgusting.
him. Thank you.
Yeah, the worst
No
of them
racism
come
in the
out
chat,
when it
please.
gets bad for the globe.
I'll take you're on one of my moderators anyway, Owen. So I'll just time him out just based on what you've just said. So no more racism, please, Pete Shea. Not Pete Shea, P. Mars.
Right. Don't time out the wrong person.
Anyway, any evidence of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety, Ranty?
Afraid not, Nath. Can't find any of it. We go looking.
Anybody else?
You
Axial
need
rotation?
spinning first for. You need something to rotate to have that.
Yeah, you need an edge.
You need an edge.
Very true.
Well, yeah, you'd need an edge for that edge velocity. I suppose that's any evidence the distance.
Yeah. How would you measure the edge velocity anyway? Because they say if you're up at the North Pole, it's barely moving. If you're 90 degrees north, it doesn't move at all. So yeah, the edge is pretty key. Yeah, that's quite a good point. It's gonna have a
But
wide.
they don't
impact.
measure it. They don't measure it. They calculate it based on their model of how it should be if the Earth was a ball.
Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth? Shout out to Godzilla for the super chat and for correcting my incorrect numbering of the show. Self-perpetuating core? Molten? Anybody? Anybody at all?
No. Well, apparently a new volcano erupted somewhere.
Bloody hell. Volcanoes have got sod all to do with the molten iron core. Even in their rhetoric. I mean, I don't know what causes volcanoes, but according to them, it's tectonic plate activity. The friction causes magma. Well, that friction isn't connected to the molten iron core, even in their bullshit rhetoric.
Really? I thought
Yeah, really.
that
What do you mean,
volcanoes
really?
would be-
This was taught to
No,
you in
but
high
their
school,
model,
Arwin.
in their
Come
model, I
on.
thought that volcanoes were connected to eventually the core. That's what
No.
keeps
No.
them
Oh,
persistent.
there's a layer of magma underneath the I think the crust. That's what it is. That's where
Have you not-
the magma is chilling. It's not coming from the core.
Owen,
In
have you
in
not-
their narrative, of course.
Okay.
Owen, Owen, have you not watched Journey to the Center of the Earth?
Yes, I have. Yeah,
Look,
man.
that's
those
not a
crystal
documentary.
caves- Those crystal caves were awesome. Man, we need to go to the center of the Earth and harvest all those
It's
crystals.
not a
man.
documentary.
Listen. It's very simple. They got these so-called probes in the pseudo medium of space going within very close distance to the sun now, right? So what's the heat there versus if they send that same probe inside the volcano, since it's deeper than 8 miles? I mean, it should be able to withstand the heat of our Earth's core if they can get one near the sun, right?
I don't know what you want. Do you want it in Celsius or what are you asking?
I'm saying since they got probes that can withstand the heat of the sun, which is greater, the heat of the sun with the probe being near it, that took years and years to get there, or that same probe thrown in some lava juice volcano so they can go deeper than 8 miles so that we can prove it once and for all.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
Mm.
Any evidence
You
of
know-
the R value, Earth radius?
I wanted to add a little bit more, considering volcanoes and the supposed molten iron core. You know, I have no idea why the tectonic plates presumed to be as it is, why they even move. Does anybody know?
Yeah, they say they move. What you're saying is you don't see them move. I mean, they
No,
claim
no,
that
no,
the,
no, 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 no. Why do they move?
Why do they move?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. You know, why do they move the way they do?
It's a force.
I don't know that.
But do you accept their explanation for earthquakes and such like?
Well, not spherical, but there
No,
may be
ignoring
some
the
kind
spherical
of
bit.
earth drift in some way, like this.
Just ignoring that. I mean, they'll show you Hawaii building up a load of lava pillows and producing new land, and they'll assert that that is essentially the same process that's happening somewhere else to force a continent to physically grow. And if it's landlocked by other plates, then what you have is a situation where there's pressure building up in this giant continent plate, and as it slips over the next plate, that juddering is the earthquake. That's their current explanation for earthquakes. Now, in the same situation, you've also got the ring of fire, all these boundaries that are constantly under friction, and that creates this lava in these pockets that works its way up to the ground level. You know, all of this is, you know, I don't know how valid any of this is, to be perfectly honest, but that's their rhetoric. That's what they say happens. It's nothing spherical particularly, but it's just not in any way linked to the molten iron core.
Well, the thing is,
Well, in a way, it
well,
is
the
because
thing
it's
is
supposed
that,
to be floating on
basically,
top of it,
litmus-
right? If I
Hold
may
on, Arwin.
respond
Hold
to
on,
it.
whoever's
It's-
interrupting. Just 1 second. Go ahead, Arwin.
But what I just wonder is if you imagine these are huge, big plates of basically mostly rock and minerals and dirt and yeah, huge masses. So what is actually then causing the force? Just approach it mechanically for a while in order to push all of that into each other in order to create lava to push one giant slab upon another. Because if you say, well, there's room and then lava forms rock in between, how could the cooling down of lava, which is a liquid, then cause so much force solidifying, which it would require some space in the first place to be able to reach the surface? How could that then cause this massive push force that would push the entire slab like that? It doesn't make any mechanical sense to me.
Well, it kind of does. If you force glue between a joint and the glue expands upon setting, then you're going to force cracks in the wood potentially as the pressure increases and the glue sets. So I can understand the explanation.
You have to put it there. How does it come?
that would
arrive
cause
there
the plate
from
to
the bottom?
deform and break. It would
Maybe.
not
How
hold
does the glue
up
get there
shape
from the
under
bottom if it's
movement.
not being forced in there?
Well, this is
Are
fun
we
to
begging the
discuss.
question?
Thank you. Everything starts with begging the question. They already believe the Earth is a sphere, and so now they bring an answer based on that.
Yeah, but our
Well,
entire
the thing
reason.
is,
Get
so
the
much of
mechanics.
this is an alternative cosmology, and I hate to bring it back to religion again, but that you need to have a key into the philosophy and the religion to get a full take on where they're coming from. First of all, they want to throw out the Bible, and the Bible puts out a world that comes from the waters. And now they're coming with some sort of alternate cosmology where the world is, evolved by fire, where the world, is a world of fire and old as opposed to, from the waters and younger as the Bible seems to imply. So really they're just putting out an alternative cosmology to the scriptures to just, walk away from it totally on some level. It's just, a philosophical assumption that isn't based in, revelation from, say the creator, the one who made the thing on a certain level. We don't see these seas of magma below the continental plates, and we don't even see continental plates that are puzzle pieces like their model implies. There's a couple serious problems with plate tectonics as is. And if the continents did move, that would cause the plates to deform, crumble, and break apart. They would not hold up under the stress, some of them. And when they are analyzing how far down the plates go, they go down in some cases hundreds of miles, and they're still not finding a sea of magma below it to go with the full elements of their model and their theory. So really, we're not getting everything they're presenting to us. They're presenting kind of a deceptive picture that isn't quite matching experimentation.
Agreed. Can we move on? Because, as I say, as much as this is related to the nature of our Earth, it's not necessarily related to the housekeeping question, any evidence of a molten iron core. So Any scientific evidence of gravity?
Yeah.
Of what?
Well, gravity
Of
has two
bubble tea.
parts. Gravity has the part where stuff falls, okay, but the second part of gravity forming balls and orbits, no.
Can you just back off your mic a little bit beyond it? You're just making it pop and stuff when you're speaking. You're clear enough, it's just popping and stuff, plosives.
But how, if things are falling, do you come towards gravity?
I agree. Moon landings, fake.
Yeah, no scientific evidence whatsoever.
What haven't we had? Any evidence of the distance to the sun? No, we've had that. I'm sure I've missed one. Oh, any evidence that you can have gas pressure without the necessary antecedent of a container to press upon? There's only one more left.
Keyword pressure.
Nope.
Almost feel like we haven't even talked about that point for a while because we've been destroying this horizon edge nonsense.
Edge. Yeah. Fundy globe heads have an edge. They have boats going over it and they're ever obscuring things. This fundy edge that they challenge us to produce as flat earthers, even though we don't claim one. They've definitely got one. They've reified it from a ball model into a not actual location we see as the horizon. It's amazing. The horizon's not a physical edge, but they claim it as one. They measure it geometrically, assume it's a sphere, all that bollocks.
Yeah, but you forget.
Hey,
What
tough
do I-
man.
What do I forget? Hold on,
See,
just 1 second, Righteous.
Same time, I don't give
Go on,
a-
Flatzoid. What do I forget?
I said you forget. They say the Earth is too big to observe any curve, but a boat can go over the horizon at 3 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Nope.
Right, I've got one more housekeeping question, but I'm going to do a quick shout out. I've been learning so much listening. Thank you to the debate participants. The conversation adds to my rebuttals for the Globers. You're all awesome. Oh, thank you very much. Light Energy for the super chat. Really appreciate your support. Any single viable hypothesis from any of the fields of astronomy, cosmology, or astrophysics?
I haven't heard one yet.
The study of the
Does
cycles,
leaps of
the way
logic
they
count?
try to- the way
Sean
they try to
Hawkins in the
wrap
chat.
cycles
There's a
around
link in the
ball,
info
though,
box.
is bad.
That's funny, by the way. I was looking concerning this subject. I was looking on the modern day debate for a moment, and there was atheism versus Christianity.
Hold on a second, Darwin. Rams, can you not hear Arwin
Sounds like
talking?
there's another window open.
Just carried on regardless. Go ahead, Rams. Hold on, Arwin. Sorry. Rams.
Sorry, guys. It was a mistake.
No worries. Go ahead, Arwin. Sorry.
Right. So there was this discussion between the lady, a lady that was an atheist, and a Christian guy over at the modern day debates. It was a few days ago, and it was there live. And she would actually start peer pressuring, attacking him on claiming, like, how dare you claim that all these science groups are not real science? It went that far. So there's still a lot of people out there that just can't get over the fact that it is pseudoscience, that astrophysics and astronomy and all that stuff is all pseudoscience. They can't handle it. They get all
Well,
triggered.
they want us to assume our place because the scientific, materialist, and frankly atheist establishment is supposed to take us to a brave new future. So us questioning their, scientism is a problem. Now, good science is fine. Scientism that's based on very bad suppositions, not so much. So we got to look at the basis of some of these scientific claims and see if they're fully valid. It's more like science, skepticism of some of the scientific claims. That's all. Science can still be a wonderful method if it's properly used, and there's no problem with science on that level. But when it turns into a materialistic, atheistic faith where it just has to be physical, God and spirit to be damned, or any other revelation other than the materialistic revelation we, show to ourselves, no God, or whatever, or anything else other than, ourselves or some demon from hell, that's where it gets really problematic.
And I keep having repeated issues with people in other servers debating the difference between the colloquial interpretation of the word theory and the scientific theory. A lot of people really don't understand the difference.
Well, I mean, the thing is, a theory, we're going to have lots of theories because we're limited humans and we can only see so much of reality. But we need to humbly acknowledge that what we have is a theory and that the truth could be out there in the unseen realms where we're not quite seeing it. That's why it's good to have faith and revelation to bridge the gap. The only thing that's really dealing with the flat observations that we're seeing with lasers and with what we're seeing with our eyes and everyday experience is the Hebrew cosmology, as far as I've seen, which comes, mostly from the revelation of God, not from man's investigation or philosophical musing or materialistic revelation alone. So we need something to bridge this gap because we can't see everything, and our theories aren't always going to cut it.
The point I kept trying to make, though, was that a scientific theory has been through the scientific method, and it's a fact. It's empirical.
Well, I think what happened is that kind of happened with gravity. But the thing is, new evidence came around later, and rather than do the work to start from scratch and reevaluate the theory from the ground up, they're like, we're going to keep this unworking theory and try to massage the new observations into it as needed. That's why they went from gravity pulling to the center of the mass of the ball Earth to space-time curvature. They basically assumed what must have first been proved and said, we're going to assume that gravity existed now at curved space-time, which sounds like they're kind of moving toward the ether. Space-time can curve, it can straighten, curve and straighten, curve and straighten over and over again, which would give you waves, which sounds like a medium waving, So that sounds like the ether anyway. So basically they kind of, on the sly, tried to change gravity into ether.
Well, again, that's closer to the colloquial understanding of the word theory rather than a scientific theory.
And also, we need to look at the philosophy that's being used to generate these theories, because these theories are not always just coming from an objective standpoint. Some of these theories are coming from principles. The Earth cannot be in the center. Therefore, any theory that you come up with must take the Earth out of the center, must make it materialistic, and refuse, spirit, and stuff.
Very good.
And I was just saying that the scientific establishment, ironically, with its hatred and refusal to acknowledge God, is actually becoming ironically mystical. You see the theory, the way that they're going, the direction they're going toward, saying that energy can pop out of nothing in a vacuum. You can see that they're trying to work in spontaneous generation and spontaneous appearance and existence, despite the fact that the thing in the vacuum is probably invisible ether that is still in there, just unseen. So, despite the fact that they're trying to, outright refuse the Christian God, they become increasingly mystical and Far Eastern. It's very interesting.
What is ether?
The medium that flows in and out of everything, makes up space itself, needed for the propagation of electromagnetic waves. Electromagnetic waves themselves are probably undulations, waves, ripples of the ether. Space itself can carry a charge, store charge, become charged, a source of nearly limitless energy all around us, that sort of thing. Basically, the ancients thought that purified air was ether, and you can purify air by means of vacuum filtration, and the thing left in the vacuum would probably be ether.
The problem is we can't prove it. We can't even test it, really, can we?
Well, we can prove it with retroductive logic, but we can't prove it via atomism. The atomistic paradigm that they're under says that it has to be something that they can see, taste, smell, touch, or hear explicitly. But not everything that's real falls under those parameters. Your emotions are very real. Falls under those parameters. Your emotions are very real. Falls under those parameters. Your emotions are very real. Falls under those parameters. Your emotions are very real. Falls under those parameters. Your emotions are very real.
What's happening?
Or
Bloody hell.
QE's
It's
joined.
What
a
the
code
hell?
He's either joined with his watch page open or I don't
That
know.
was weird.
I think it was QE. I just sort of muted him for now.
I think he
Go
was
on
trying
mute,
to.
QE.
I think he was trying to drive the point.
Sorry about that. Don't you ever put me on mute again. Beyonder.
I would have done it.
Don't come back here.
You were causing.
Don't
audio,
come back here. Do you understand me?
You were causing audio chaos.
I understand that. I was trying to get it fixed. Please forgive me.
Yeah, but you can't just take it out on someone else and say, "Don't come back."
No. I'm not taking that out on somebody else.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
taking out on that nonsense that's going on this show. Now,
Oh, okay.
if you want to have him on your
Triggered by the ether.
on
Did
your
he
side,
claim
then fine.
science? Did he claim science?
He's not in
though?
Discord. And Arwen, I'll tell you what. If you were in Discord, your ass would be gone too. Just to let you know, right? Get out of here.
Okay.
Just to let you know. You should have listened to
Very,
these bozos
very
yesterday.
open-minded of you. Well, he
Nathan.
wasn't claiming science. Just to
You should
clear
have
that
listened
up.
to
He
these
wasn't
bozos yesterday.
claiming science.
Lemon Bird
He
and
was
Arwen.
just laying out an idea. It was very clear about it. I thought it was
Yeah,
very.
you're out of there.
That was
Just
interesting.
to let you know. You ain't representing me on this flat earth.
It becomes a philosophical discussion, doesn't it?
It's bullshit. Every time it gets around to the ether with Lemon Bird, I don't care if you're talking about bed springs. It's going to come up ether. I'm sick of his bullshit.
Why?
And I just woke up. I'm sorry. But I heard
Oh,
I
okay,
just
that explains everything.
I heard these
You were
two
kind of
bozos
that.
last night, Arwen and Lemon Bird, for like 2 hours. Then I get on the show this morning. Who do I hear? Arwen and Lemon Bird on this show. I'm seeing red.
Can ether be scientifically dismissed?
I'm not just talking about ether. You asked him, what did you ask him about the colloquial use of theory versus scientific theory? What kind of bullshit did he say?
That's funny, dude. It's like summoned you.
Go ahead and listen back to that.
Hey, Adam.
Ooh.
Love you.
Can you watch
Barely
something that
hearing,
Ranty
to be
wants to
honest.
show?
1 second, guys. Hey, Adam.
Afternoon, guys. What are you moaning about, John? I thought you said it was the year of the ether.
This year,
Got him.
but I wasn't ready yet.
Ding, ding, ding.
Don't ban the ether, bro.
What the fuck
Can't
is ether?
stop.
Hold on. Now you've done it overtly, and now I can get involved. What's ether?
The word.
Are you asking me to define it?
No, not you,
I
Arwen.
was going to say I was about to hang up
Me?
and have line problems.
Me?
No,
Well, I don't
Arwen
even have a
wasn't.
full
Listen.
definition of it yet.
To be clear, Arwen wasn't talking about the ether, right? To be clear, I'm not pissed at Arwen for that.
But yet you threatened to throw me out of Discord if I got there, though.
That's just because you're Arwen.
Okay.
Well, let's have a do-over. He did pepper it with apologies and disclaimers about how tired and he just got up and stuff. So let's just start again.
Yeah, sorry about
Anyway,
that. Lemon Bird's
Have you had
gone.
breakfast
Ether, you're
yet,
on.
John?
Ether. Jeez, oh man. Arwen, you're on triple secret probation, dude.
Triple.
Arwen
Okay,
says.
as long as it's secret, that's fine with me.
I'm gonna say that.
I'll tell you what, you tell me, Nathan. You listen to the past couple Jose shows. You tell me if he's on double or triple or quadruple secret probation. You tell me. I was absolutely shocked at the shit that came out of his mouth. It's like that he never learned anything for 3 years here. Nothing.
Concerning what? Can you be more specific?
Concerning what? No, just listen. I'm not going over all your bullshit.
Okay,
Just
so you're
listen
not
to
going
those
to
two
give me
shows
an
where you
actual
come on. It's
in-content
plainly clear.
criticism on what I said wrong. You're just going to say I got everything wrong. It sounds familiar.
Plainly clear. I didn't write
Sounds
everything
like
down,
you
Arwen. I
guys-
was too pissed.
Okay.
Sounds like you guys need Ranty's round table.
yeah.
Lucky he's not
hang it
here.
out on the
I'll tell you
round
that
table.
much.
Sounds
But
good.
you've already disclaimed that, to be fair, he wasn't claiming ether. So what's your beef? I don't get it.
Was it, like I just said, listen to the past two Jose retard shows where he wants to go on there, Mr. Flat Earther, and be Mr. Scientist, right? He doesn't know what he's freaking talking about.
Yes, I
Anecdotal
do.
evidence.
I'm very,
I didn't hear
very clear about what
anything.
I'm talking about. It
Telling
is why
stories.
I come there.
It was
Here we
embarrassing.
go.
Yeah, I know exactly what I'm talking about. That is why I do it. That's why I go and sit in between these circle jerking ballers all the time, because I can be that correct, and I was. May have not every word may have come through because I get over talked a lot, and hey, I may even slur a little here and there, basically not formulating the words correctly in a moment. So something may have come out a little broken. Okay,
Wasn't any
but
of that. I'm not
contextually,
talking
as
about
to
that.
the actual subject, I know exactly what I'm talking about. You know this.
I'm not talking about that nonsense. You know what the hell I'm talking about, Arwen.
No, I don't.
Don't play stupid.
Come on,
Yes, you do.
Oh, you
fill
mean
us
you
in.
mean my little back and forth with right to hand about conceptualization of certain models? Yeah,
No,
yeah.
not
Not
just
that.
not just with right to hand. I'm sorry,
Was
I
it
didn't
gravity?
itemize the list
Gravity,
because it was
orbit?
too long.
Which one?
I
Do
don't
you
care
even
about right to
remember?
hand. He's a friggin' numbskull.
I know. But do you even remember any specific subject here that I said
Yeah, and
wrong
I
in the
told
last
you in
minute?
Master B's, didn't I? What did I write? Go ahead and the big one. Go ahead to Master B's.
You write a lot of things in Master B. You know, I don't read all of it.
Yeah. Okay, I'll bring something up because now I remember it. The big one. Somebody challenged you with the theories of Einstein and Newton with gravity. Can you please post Newton's theory of gravity for us, Arwen?
Well, I was challenged for that, yes, but I was given
None of
the
your
green dose
bullshit.
to
Post it or
basically
tell us
give
right now.
my version of it, how I interpret it, and compare it to the others. So I was very
Newton's
clear about the
theory of
concept.
gravity. Post it right now,
Post it.
or
I
or speak
explain
to it
things.
right
I
now.
don't post
Newton's
things.
theory. Newton's theory of gravity, please, for everyone.
Right. Wait, the original script that he did was kind of nutty, I remember. So I'm not going off by that because I don't know that. I don't know the details of that. But I do
Can
know
somebody
that
no
can
one
somebody
says it.
bring him in? Can somebody let him know what the score is, or do I need to?
I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, hey, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Show us how good your memorization
Let me
skills
walk him
are
through
because
it.
you
Arwen.
memorize everything.
Arwen, what's the theory?
I don't know. You're talking about the theory of
Oh my
Newton, right?
God, that's what I'm talking about, Nathan.
I'm going per title. You said Newton's theory. Okay. Well, that's
just asked you
title.
for what
I'm
a
not
theory
claiming
is.
Hold
it's
on,
a
I'm going
both
step
of
scientific
by
you.
theory.
Hold
step.
on, Arwen.
Newton didn't even claim it was a scientific theory.
Arwen. He's paraphrasing what you said apparently on Jose's, and you said Newton theory.
Yeah, but I also, on top of that, directly after that, also said, but Newton never claimed a hypothesis. So the use of theory there was colloquially, and I emphasized that by explaining it afterward. But maybe you missed that, John. Maybe you missed that. Because I say it every single time Newton comes up. Every single time.
Well, why did you hesitate right now? I didn't hear any of that. Why did you hesitate right now when he asked you what a theory was? He didn't ask you what Newton's theory was. He asked you what a theory was, and you said, I don't know.
It depends on what approach to theory you have. If you're gonna, per default, say, okay, the only thing that can be a theory is a scientific theory.
No,
yeah, then you're gonna
that's
have
not true.
the scientific.
That's what I'm talking about, Nathan.
That's not true. So you and not you, Lemonbird, and who was it that was discussing? Rams were discussing this earlier. So you've got colloquial theory. That would be Mystic Meg. I can see riches in your future.
You can all talk it like that. It's just not complete yet. It's not adapted to a scientific method. It's conceptual. It's ideas. And those ideas can be grounded
I'll
in
turn that
some
back on
real
you.
things.
No worries, you're interrupting me, so I'll turn it back on you. Ball's in your court. So to be scientific theory, what does it need?
It needs a proper scientific hypothesis.
Aha! So we've got something being contextualized scientifically. That would be Newton's theory. And it would require what again?
A valid hypothesis.
Booyah! Let's have it.
He doesn't have one, and he never claimed one.
Who's interrupting
He
him?
never claimed one, and I said it on Jose's, and I
So
said it right now.
So it's an
what's the problem
oxymoron.
here?
Really?
So it's an oxymoron.
Yeah. But that's not what that Jose thing was about. What it was about is them telling me you don't even know what it all is. And I said, oh yeah, really? No, I do know what it is. I know exactly what it is. I know some of the details of it, not perfect to the miniature whatever, but I know how it works, how it's supposed to work. I know what it technically is. And I explained that.
Shout out to Godzilla37. He says, QE is right about one thing. Speculation presented as fact is not a good look. You start sounding like NASA before you know it. Thank you very much for the super chat, Godzilla37. Really appreciate your support.
Agreed.
I'm not talking about that. I'm just not talking. Just listen to it. If you made the correction, Arwen, I'm sorry. I listened to that for about an hour and a half. The only reason I'm listening for the flat earthers, and especially you. You represent us. Do you understand that?
Do my best, but I don't always represent you. I mostly represent myself. But I do sometimes represent
that's
you.
Why if you were in
when
here,
people
I'd boot you
mention
out.
you. I defend you, John. I defend Nathan.
Hold on,
I defend
disagree with that.
everybody on here when you are being addressed by them in my face.
I disagree
But when
with that.
I speak for myself. Usually.
Yeah, well, I'm going to agree with you. So why does Arwen represent me when he's in Jose's chat?
He represents flat earthers, and he's directly representing. They're talking about the show, right? Now, listen. I'm not expecting him to know the principal quantum numbers of stuff. But when somebody says Newton's theory, and he's been sitting here for 3 friggin' years, and he doesn't just stop and say, wait, what are you talking about? And he goes on to his little storytelling. Okay, that's fine. He can do that.
Right.
Right.
Right. But I didn't, because you just said you missed that part where I actually did explain it.
Yeah,
so.
you did. And that's fine. No problem.
I agree. It's important to be correct. I agree.
I'm not talking about that.
It's difficult though.
I'm not talking about that. I don't want you to be a
especially when you're
parroter out
active, like
there.
4 to 5 hours a
But
day.
you've sat here and listened for 3 years. That's my problem. And I told you about this a long time ago, that the threat is flat earthers.
No shit.
I'm sick of it.
Dude, I'm in the scene
threat
longer
to the
than you.
flat
You
earth
think
is
I don't know
flat
that?
earthers. What?
I totally agree
I'm a
with
flat
that.
earther longer than you, buddy. You think that I don't know that?
Right.
That's
I'm going to
fine.
shout out this super chat while you two tit for tat. Shout out to Sean Hawkins, who says, when will QE or Nathan come out of their echo chamber and prove they aren't feckless cowards? Debate me, cowards. You're free to join whenever you want to, Sean, if you wish. Thank you very much for the super chat. There is a link below. If you require us to move a few people around to get in because it's full, I can do so. If you want to debate me.
Sean Hawkins. Sean Hawkins couldn't tie his shoes by himself, friggin' retard.
Don't hassle my super chatters.
He gave you money to make a comment rather than join in the panel.
I'll say it. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. If you want to debate me, you can. Now, somebody asked me how much I care about debating Sean.
Crickets.
Sean, I
Nathan,
couldn't care
how
less.
much do you care about debating Sean?
I couldn't care less. Literally couldn't give a crap whether or not I debate Sean Hawkins. However, if you want to debate me, which it seems you do, then you can. So I'm not a coward. I just couldn't give a shit about debating you or anybody else for that matter. However, if they want to debate me, they can. What's that you say? You've got terms that you want to debate me on. I couldn't care less.
Why do they think we care what the opinion of us is?
No, they can come in and tell us. If they so choose, that's why there's a public link. It's like,
'Cause
no,
they
but you
think they're
you
relevant.
must debate me on my terms. No, I don't care about your terms. Sean Hawkins, been smoking the crack again, says Super Looming Hyena. I don't know about that. I don't think he's a crackhead.
Say that, Chocolate, again, what you said.
Because they think they're irrelevant. Meanwhile, we're the ones making them relevant. Because what would you guys be doing if you weren't talking about flat Earth? Playing with your lightsabers somewhere? Why y'all not doing that now? What are you worried about us for? Fuck out of here.
So yeah, shout
Playing
out,
with his lightsaber.
shout out Super Looming Hyena. Thank you very much for the super chat.
This show
Go ahead.
steers the conversation, though.
Playing with his lightsaber, yeah, supervised. Sean Hawkins, you're a joke, man. Joke.
Hey, do any Glovers that are in here have any rebuttals for Ballbusters episode 30?
Good question.
Yeah, where's that edge? We're waiting for that edge, guys. Where is it? The physical one that you think is blocking things? Where is that?
Did you hear the new housekeeping question at the beginning of the show, QE?
No, dude, I told you I woke up stumbling and fumbling, man. Sorry.
Stumbling, fumbling, and spitting feathers at Arwen.
I just couldn't. When I hit the show and all I heard was Lemon Bird and Arwen, I lost my mind. Sorry, man. Sorry about that.
Don't apologize to me. It's all good.
Ether, right?
Show
Doesn't
us
the
the
Chinese
edge.
New Year start in April?
Somebody's talking in the background. I can't hear him.
Who is that talking? Just Travis? Fenris? Sorry?
Somebody's talking.
Travis.
Yes, that was me. Hello.
Travis, you're so low.
Oh, thank you. Go on mute then.
No, I can just turn
Travis,
you
are
up a
you
bit.
Travis?
Okay.
Are you under 1 foot so you can take that picture?
My tripod starting out goes at 2 feet above water, so I can safely not ruin my camera.
There may be a mistake on B69 on his 1 foot observation. One of the photos that he showed, the 1 foot observation, was actually the 35 foot. He made a mistake.
I've seen
But
that.
that's
I've
okay.
got
It doesn't
something-
matter. At 35 feet, the horizon still should be 7.2 miles away. So they're still screwed. But I just want to say that I might make a correction here.
Yeah.
Not tomorrow, but on an upcoming show.
Hold on,
You don't have
QE.
to.
I
That's
think
quite a mix-up.
everyone shut up a second. Go ahead, Ranty.
Yeah, you don't have to make a correction, QE. The image that he posted at the start of his video was from 35 feet, but the screenshot that was taken was absolutely from 1 foot.
Are you sure
So I
about
have
that?
some-
I took
yes,
a look
I
at
have
it
something to
yesterday and
present.
it didn't seem so.
Yeah, I have something to present as well. That's all right.
Go ahead. You're on
I
screen.
can't see it.
You'll have to
But
go
go
to
ahead.
your live stream and mute the watch page, but try not to interrupt. Go ahead, Ranty.
Okay, so Walter Bislin, essentially this is the go-to Earth curve calculator for the Globers, and they have these individual tools that you can slide along, and you can adjust the refraction, so you can bring things back from beyond the edge, the horizon. And obviously, if you move this red cursor from left to right, what you'll see that this building both drops and hides, and then pops up, and now you can see it. And this is their model. This is how they perceive things. And obviously, throughout this entire thing, they have a hard horizon. The horizon never changes. You never see a horizon beyond the object that's being loomed up from beyond that curve. Their edge is always there. Now, going back to this observation, John, this is the screenshot. Now, I have taken this screenshot on this particular point, and this was from the video. This was from the video from 1 foot. If we go back to the start of his video and we find the image that he presents, which is this one, just play it, you can tell it's completely different. It's much higher. This is from 30 foot. But actually the image that was taken was from 1 foot. Now I've got that up on screen here. I just want to say something, John. This image that you presented on Ballbusters, I like it, don't get me wrong, but the clarity of it isn't very good at all. It's horrendous.
Yeah,
the quality is
it's not mine. It's not
been passed
mine. I
around.
got that from
It's been
somebody
passed
else,
around,
but
mate.
that's okay. Go ahead.
But
Did you hear what I just said?
What I
Yes,
did
he
is I went
heard
and I
you.
got.
Yeah,
So
go
I went
ahead,
and I
Ranty.
got. Hello.
Yes, please continue.
So I went and I got the same image. Obviously, this is the same image, but it's in much better resolution. So if just to change things around a bit, I'm just going to adjust the brightness and contrast. That you can actually see that that horizon line, because when you adjust things around a bit, now you can make it out. Now you can actually see the horizon is far beyond the second platform when you adjust the contrast
Ranty.
on this
Yeah,
high definition image. So
yeah, I
let's
did
get rid
more or
of that.
less the same. I did more or less the same thing yesterday. Here's the problem. Pull up the photo that has 1 foot elevation in the left-hand corner where it says 1 foot elevation.
This one over here. I'm trying
No,
to
not that
understand
one.
which one you mean.
I know the one you're talking about, John.
Right. So the one that he presented at the start of his video, and it says it's 1
No,
foot.
no. The one that has the print that says 1 foot elevation.
I don't have that, John. I took this from the video. From a video still.
That's the one I'm talking about. The one I showed that says 1 foot elevation has it in white print.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Let me get it.
No. Ranty's about to make a different point in regards to Walter Bislin's calculator. So this is an aside that's gone on a bit too far. We can conclude that afterwards. Please continue,
Okay.
Ranty. Get to your point.
Sure. So the point is that from this 1 foot observation, the horizon should be, the geometric horizon should be 1.22 miles away. The simple fact is that this at 6.2 miles away, this platform here is visible, right? And the idea that looming happens has to be beyond a edge. You have to have an edge for things to be loomed up beyond. Let's go back to the Walter Bislin's curve calculator just to show that again. You need a solid edge, and you need the building, or in this case, the platform, to be loomed up behind that edge. One thing you can't have is you can't have a succession of different platforms being loomed up with water visible and a horizon beyond that. You just can't have that. You can't have this being loomed up, then the water being loomed up, then this building being loomed up, and then a horizon far, far, far in the distance. Let's not forget, 9.4 miles away to this platform is quite a long way when the edge of the globe should be at 1.22 miles away. There is no edge.
Perfect.
No worries. But
Hold
yeah,
on,
John, yeah, because you can't see what I'm presenting.
No,
yeah,
I can see it.
Yeah, this is from 1 foot. I can bring up a screenshot of that other, from his 1 foot, what he claims is 1 foot at the start of his video, which is this.
I put it in
here.
Master B.
So this is what he originally claimed. Let me just play the video just a second. And
all right, hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Hold on. QE, you're talking all over his presentation. I've just got to point that I didn't want to. I was trying to subtly say it. We can get to the admin about the discrepancy in Bulbusters after. He's nearly there.
We were just talking about that.
I know. But
he finished his presentation. You were just talking about it.
Right, I'm just going to show you what he presents as a 1 foot observation at the start of his video.
Like I said, that's what he just said. What's the problem?
I can't deal with this. I can't deal with this.
Oh my God!
He's in the middle of doing a presentation. You've decided that he's finished. Now he's buggered off.
He finished his presentation, then he went back to the 1 foot observation. What the fuck? Why?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, he's got a concluding point about Walter Bislin's calculator, which he's told me, and I know
It wasn't oh my God! It wasn't about Walter Bislin. He said the 1 foot observation. He just said it again. all I wanted to do was show the exact photo that there was a problem with. That's all.
Okay. I'll stick that on screen immediately.
Okay, so it's in Master B. Can somebody pull that up?
Me, I've got it on screen now.
That one was the problem. That one is from 35 feet, as best I could tell. I went back and looked at it. He
Any chance
can't
you
deal
can,
with it.
No worries. Any chance you can
Kim.
put the 1 foot actual observational now, Ranty, because we've got it as a direct comparison to make this bit concise, if you're willing.
One sec, Nath. I actually was. This is what I was getting to when John was freaking out. So this is the same screenshot that John's just presented. This 1 foot elevation, and what you can see is that the hard horizon meets the platform in this location. Let me just put this in here. So there. So on this particular image, you can tell it's higher because you can see where the horizon meets the platform, which is in this spot on this platform on the right hand side. Whereas on this case, it's way lower. It's not up here. So this is telling you that you can definitely tell that this was taken from 1 foot and this was absolutely taken from 35 feet. He put a mistake at the start of his video, but as I say, this is pure clarity, clarifying that this was the 1 foot observation and that this image is correct and the horizon is far beyond what their Earth curve model should say it is.
Hallelujah. Thank you. Excellent. Thank you, everybody.
Are you done?
Yes, he's done. I believe so.
I'm done.
Okay, now go back to the 35-foot observation to my frigging point.
The 35 one that's marked as 1 foot.
The 1 foot observation, yes.
Yes, I've got that on
Sorry
screen.
about that.
That's all right. Yeah, I've got that on screen.
All my point was this was the 35-foot observation. That's it. He made a mistake. It's not a big deal. The horizon is still further than the platform at 35 feet. The back platform, where it should be at 35 feet, 7.24 miles. Right? It's a mistake, right? But it doesn't material affect anything. It's still a train wreck.
Yeah, it makes
you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that point was raised on the show. So I think it was 10th Man that actually raised that point, which was to say that, well, the horizon's still in the wrong place at 35 feet anyway, so who cares?
Yeah, that's right. But that's right. That's correct.
I just want to clarify that the image with the red line that you put on, the image with that red line is absolutely taken from 1 foot. 100%.
Yeah, there was only one error, and that's now been corrected. It's no big deal.
All right, I got another one that I corrected yesterday.
Oh, okay.
I'll put it in Master B. Let me see if that shows up good on yours. I didn't put any text or anything on it.
Okay, there we go. So this is...
Okay, no, not that one. All right. Yep, that's the 1 foot observation. You can clearly see the horizon behind it. It doesn't...
Yep.
I could probably do a little bit better on the contrast, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
You don't even have to. It's
the
clear.
same as Ranty's. Essentially the same. Ranty was on this doing the contrast when you had the back and forth. But there we go. I think, to be fair to
we were both
Ranty...
trying to make the point. We were both trying to make the same point.
Yeah, you're both making the same point, and yours was, to be fair, Ranty, in slightly higher resolution, however you'd managed to capture it, but that's a totally different point. We're really, really nitpicking.
Well, Nathan, just having watched Ranty's presentation there, the kind of second point comes to mind from those two pictures there, because they are of the same thing at different heights, and you see the movement of the horizon relative to the platforms as the angle opens up, and obviously we've got more data we can see, so we're able to see further. So for me, it's a good example of how observer height kind of increases ability of distance of viewing, certainly the clarity as you raise, and it's demonstrated by the movement of the horizon, again proving it's not a physical point, but it is just an optical point of meter. You know, it's the point of no definition.
It's angular,
and I think those two pictures show that really well.
Absolutely, it's angular as opposed to geometric. Yeah. So when Flat Earth Data was on Ballbusters, he summarised that quite beautifully. And he's comparing the representation of a geometric world that takes away what you see, and we've described it as the hijacking of perspective. Now, those two things are one and the same thing. You've got an angle opening up as you raise in altitude, and it's all based on the angles of what you see, how big they are in angular size as they get further away, or how small they get, more likely disappearing into the distance at that diffraction limit. Well, all of these things are related to the angles, and you're, as you rightly point out, opening the angle as you raise in altitude. But if you've got a geometric edge, it makes sod all difference. It's still there obscuring stuff.
Well, even if you allowed them that they're able to peer over the edge, which, as we've showed, you can't at these heights, then the consequence of observing on a flat plane and increasing your angle means you would see further. Therefore, the horizon would continue to rise, to continue to go into the distance. But if you're doing that same thing on a ball, then all you do is create more and more opportunity for you to observe the curvature and watch it drop. Whereas in reality, that again, it's looming up consistently to provide multiple edges to give the illusion of a flat plane.
Exactly. This was covered in 2015. I just didn't realise how important it was when Rory Cooper covered it. My Perspective covered it. And he essentially had a side-by-side visual demonstration of what happens when a physical edge drops as you raise in altitude versus the flat plane we actually face with a diffraction limit. Well, the flat plane, as you widen the angle, you're just seeing further and further into the distance, so his boxes are just extending on that depiction. Whereas on the globe depiction, as you described, it's just falling away more and more and more as you get higher and higher and higher. And the way to visualise this, if you're struggling with our verbal description of it, if you imagine the end result being their picture of Earth from space, and AB's start point being the horizon is the leading edge of their ball model, well, the in-between bit is you looking further and further and further over till it comes a ball. But that doesn't happen, because it's not a physical edge. You don't have a physical edge to look over. We've got a diffraction limit in the distance based on angular relationships, i.e. what we see, and what they give us in their curve maths is a geometric representation that removes all aspects of what we see. In fact, it completely flips it on its side, 90 degrees, orthographic representation. So you don't have any aspect of what you're seeing. You've got a side-on presentation of one line between you, that you can now see if for some reason you're in the observation now, you can see your own head, and the target, which doesn't change its angular size when you move the maths around, because they attribute a whole number value to it, feet and inches or meters. So it doesn't matter if you have 10-foot walls 3 million miles away or right in front of you, it's still a 10-foot wall and will be run through the maths as such. So perspective's ignored, and the fact that you will open up an angle as you raise in altitude is just calculable through their maths as you seeing further over the edge. Well, no, you're seeing further into the distance because you've opened up your angle.
Hey, can Snowflake Ranty send me his photo?
Snowflake Ranty? I'll have you know I'm a very special snowflake.
Hey, Ranty, can you send that picture you just had with the way you did that with the contrast, please? Can you put that in Master B or somewhere?
I'll consider it, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask the same thing. It was a good contrast.
It was really good contrast. Sorry for interrupting you. I thought you were going to deal with the actual elevation, the one I was talking about. Sorry about that.
That's all right. While that admin's being sorted out, I'll say if you are watching this on the Nathan Oakley premiering stream, then stay tuned as there'll be an after show to follow. Massive, huge, enormous thank you to both Discord and G+ panels for making this live show possible, and a massive shout out to all the new members and people who smashed the super chat. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. Stay tuned if you're watching on the premiering stream. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!